Just a second.
Yes, now you did it.
It's starting?
Yeah.
It's starting. There you go. Hello, everyone.
It's starting.
Welcome to our free webinar with me and Natalia. Today we're going to be talking about how to be a magnet for good things in your life. We have people online here from time to time. I try to mute them. Sorry about that if there is some interruptions. But we have quite a few people watching us online on YouTube, on Zoom. And the webinar is how to attract good things in your life. We're going to give you the psychological perspective with modern methods, which Natalia will present to you. And I'm going to give you the ancient method with astrology, with the occult, with spirituality, what I've observed in my life. And why are we talking about this? Because I'm here with my beautiful partner, very successful partner, who's got everything in her life. When you look at her life, she's got the love, she's got the child, she's got the successful business that 50 people work for you. I don't know. You're well known. Everyone knows you in the country where I come from, and they're starting to know you around the world. You do your passion, the thing that you are meant to do, and everything that basically everything that you've always wanted, you have it. And can you tell us, how are you attracting all those good things? What is your secret? Because it's kind of, people hate people like you. I will tell you, when you look at your profile on Facebook, there's like everything is perfect in her life. Is she pretending? Is it true? But I know you're a friend of mine. We talk daily. And it's true. Okay, you have problems. Everyone has problems. Things annoy you in your life. But I've never seen someone so positive as you. You're always grateful. Thank you so much. I love this. I love my life. So you can't pretend 24/7. You can't pretend just for Instagram and Facebook that your life is perfect. When you talk with everyone, there's so many good things. Everything that you dream of, sooner or later comes to you. How do you do that?
The first, for to have your dream truth, you need to clean your karma. I very believe in karma. Today we will speak a lot about this. And when my astrology, I had several before to meet you. After Lada helped me a lot with her astrology things. But one lady told me, you have three lessons of your karma which you need to clean. First, you need to clean your relationship with your mother. And I work a lot with this. Second, you need to take care about your small sister. And I did it a lot and continue to do it in my life. And third, you need to learn how to follow men, how to be not so big leader, how to stay on this position up. And I continue to do it in the way. But it was very helpful to me to understand my karmic lessons and good astrology. And I'm very happy to work with you and to do this partnership together. When we can see with your team of astrology, what is your karmic lessons. After, with my therapeutic part, we can clean it and we can change it. And I very believe in both in astrology and psychological things. Then when you combine it, it's success. It's really, really success. In my life, nobody not gave me like a gift. All what I did it with a lot of work and a lot of love. I continue to do it. I feel more relaxed last year. I choose to be more relaxed because before I was believed that for to have money, for to have success, you need to suffer a lot. I saw some interview of Brian Tracy and he told, if you want to be successful, you need to work 14 hours per day. No, 16 hours per day. And I was like this. And one day I say, stop. It's Brian Tracy. He's a man, but I am a woman. I don't want to do this in my life. I want to work less and I want to receive more. I want to open this flow of money, flow of freedom, flow of free time, and really to enjoy my life. And it was my target before 1 year. And really it started to change like boom, 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 boom. And I saw a very big difference when you follow this woman way and how you can attract all what you want. With sure, it's connected with astrology, planets, with Sagittarial ways, this, ways, this. We will speak about this today from our friends, but also it's a system which I do. We work with this in Martin of Money and Geisha. We change a lot of things. It's possible. First, it's a declaration. And please now, all of you, do this declaration together with me. I am a woman I deserve to be happy. I
I'm
am a woman. I
I'm
deserve to be happy.
I
I
deserve
am a woman. I
I,
deserve to be happy.
I deserve to be happy.
When you give this permission to yourself, from this way you can start. And it's very important to start from this way. Now I give words to you because really it's a lot connected with astrology, and I'm very happy that has this big channel with astrology, and you can explain a little bit more how what it means karma, from where it's come, and what we can do with this.
That's exactly what I have prepared for, because when we decided to do this, and Natalia said, "Okay, we let's tell people why we achieve those things in our lives and how we attract the good things." Because I also consider myself that I have all the things I've always dreamed of. Actually, a lot of things I haven't even dared dreamed of. I'm with the person I'm in love with. I have healthy children. I have a very successful business. I have people from around the world loving me. I have great friends that always want to spend time with me. Everything, everything. I've come from a poor family and suddenly I became self-made and wealthy. And how did this all happen? And when I was preparing, I was like, I'm not gonna be so positive because I'm gonna tell people the hard story, what they have to go through. And what it is if you want to for life to start giving you, you first have to pay your debt. Exactly what Natalia started with. Like she had, everyone has a debt. Before we can start taking taking back, we have to pay what we owe. And this is the planet Saturn in astrology. Whatever the planet Saturn is we have a debt from a past lifetime towards someone. It's also where we were ignorant in a past lifetime. It's where we did things repeatedly in the wrong way and got kind of wrong results or painful results. And in this lifetime, we're given again the opportunity to try and do this thing, but in the right way. So, knowing your astrology, now I'll tell you quickly about the 12 house positions of Saturn, is where if you focus consciously to give there and to remove the ignorance, whatever Saturn is, there is ignorance. Ignorance blocks you from achieving and flowing with the universe and receiving the gifts of the universe. How do you remove ignorance? By learning more, by studying, by taking classes, by trying to understand this thing. You know, a lot of times when we're ignorant about something, for example, if someone has Saturn in the second house of money, so they come from a poor family, or they come from a family that always said, oh, money is bad. Oh, only the rich people who have money, they're all mafia, like my dad. Like I have Saturn connected to the second house of money. My dad would go in a restaurant. My dad would say, everyone sitting here who has money to be in this expensive restaurant is a mafia person. They've done something wrong. So I had really wrong ideas about money, that it's evil, that is bad. This is connection of Saturn, ignorance, to your second house or to the ruler of the second house somehow. So if you have this, let me give you as an example money. How do you remove this ignorance? You start reading. You start trying. And what I used to do before is like, I don't want to hear about money. It's dirty. It's bad. I don't care about money. A lot of times where Saturn is in your horoscope, if it's in your seventh house, you say, I don't want to do anything with relationships. In your 10th house, I don't care about authority or reputation. Sometimes because you've been hurt so much, because there's so much ignorance from the family or from past lifetimes, you just don't want to deal with this thing. You don't want to touch it. But whatever Saturn is, we have to do exactly the opposite. To remove ignorance, you have to bring on light and knowledge. That's why it's all of those self-growth, self-observation, talking it out with a psychologist, or just, seeing your wrong thinking and pattern and starting to change how you think about it. So whatever Saturn is in your horoscope, you have to, first of all, you might have a debt to pay towards such a person indicated by that area of your horoscope. And you have to do it without bitching, without complaining. You have to do it with acceptance. The thing about Saturn is, whatever it is, we're going to be bothered there. The people there in our life will not be the kindest. The people there will probably take more from us or hurt us more than give us back. The things in our life indicated by Saturn, the first part of our life, before we start working on that consciously, will be painful. And the worst thing we can do is to start bitching about it, to start hating life about it, to start resenting. Say, for example, you have Saturn in the seventh house, relationships are hard. You've seen from your mother that men betray you or treat you bad, or it's very hard. And you kind of say, I hate men or relationships or women, whatever. Relationships are pain in the ass, you know, and what's the point? You become cynical, you become negative, super negative. That's the worst thing you can do with Saturn. You're not paying your debt, you're getting stuck, you're getting it worse. The best thing you can do is become detached, accept that you might have a karmic debt to pay off there, and that every time something difficult happens, you say, okay, I'm paying it off, I'm paying it off. And learn to be positive there, learn to reprogram yourself by repetition, by little affirmations daily, by meditations, by spiritual practices. This is, psychology is a spiritual practice. Psychology gives you tools. Say gratitude, write lists, reprogram how you think. You know, psychology and astrology and spiritual practices, they're the same thing. They're just a modern way to say spiritual practices is psychology. So the area where Saturn is in our horoscope, we have to work very hard. And usually the strongest area we feel Saturn is in the house. It's in our horoscope. Also, the planets it aspects by conjunction, opposition, square, or even the easy aspects. You have a karmic debt, but it's easier, trine or sextile, and the house opposite its own position. So now it gets a bit more complicated. I know that a lot of you here love astrology, so hopefully you'd understand me. But the house of Saturn, the opposite house of Saturn, is also where we have a debt, and also 4 houses back from Saturn, the square. So for example, if you have Saturn in Scorpio, the previous sign, 4 signs is Leo. Whatever house you have there is also karmic debt for you. Sorry, I have to keep muting people here from time to time. And so very quickly, and any planet aspected by Saturn. So you see, just like Natalia said, she had a karmic debt towards her little sister, towards her mother, towards, a few other things. It's not just one thing in life. We tend to have a few other things, which we have to accept, which we have, even if that person really upsets us. Like for me, my karmic debt is with my dad, Saturn in the 9th house of the father figure. If we stay longer than 5 minutes in the same room, it's intolerable, it's painful, but I have to accept it. This is his personality, and forgive those people there. They'll keep hurting you. They'll keep doing the same things that are painful towards you. You have to accept and just be like, whatever, I'll go through that. I forgive you. I see that you're wrapped up in your own pain. And that's when you start paying off the karma. So let's go quickly through the 12 houses. Sorry, Natalka, all the astrology.
Very interesting. Yeah, I like it.
So Saturn in the first house. So Saturn in aspect with the ruler of the first house. This is, you have a karmic debt to your body. Probably in a past lifetime, you did not treat your body right. Maybe you neglected your health, you and yourself. The first house is you. There is a neglect about your needs or who you are or what you want. You really need to dig deep to find your self-confidence in this lifetime. You need to take classes about self-belief, to post, notes around, to reprogram, to work with a psychologist to remove your sense of inadequacy, to remove your sense of I'm not enough. Because Saturn in the first house comes from a sense of lack of you're not enough. And it's often that the person in a past lifetime did not take care either of their body or of their health, or they were in a very lowly position. So they're used to putting themselves last always. So they have to learn to healthy love and healthy appreciation again with a psychologist, with spiritual practices. They have a karmic duty towards their health and towards their own self-confidence. If Saturn is in the second house or respects the ruler of the second house, like in my case, or is even in the 8th house aspecting the second, or is even in the 11th house aspecting the second, then you have karma with money. Maybe in this lifetime, you are meant to basically work harder, especially for your money initially, because often such people come from families with poor mentality, or families that taught them you have to work hard for every penny. Money doesn't grow on trees. You can't make money out of air, which is actually you can. You see people on Wall Street, they make money out of nothing, so you can do all those things. But you have this mentality of hard work, and you have this, and often there is past life karma of negligence towards resources or ignorance. You don't know how to generate assets. You don't know how to take resources. Maybe there was wastefulness or just lack of understanding about money and resources and matter. In this lifetime, you have to really educate yourself, to take courses on deprogramming the mind about lack of resources and money, just like what Natalia is going to do again, a money marathon. Last time there was like 300-400 people on the money marathon and there was only positive results. Last year money marathon, it's 30 days where day by day she reprograms your mind on the poverty thinking. I can tell you, for me, it took me 15 years. It's so hard when you're trying to do it on your own. And it took me 10 years of making money before I started believing that actually I can make money and it's not so hard and I don't hate money.
I want to tell you about story about this marathon of money. You know, Russian people, we are has a lot of oligarchs in Russia. And one day I was on one seminar and I met with one lady. She been from one small village in Russia and suddenly she became to be very famous, rich. And I say, what is the secret? She said, I have one techniques. And I meet with other ladies, the same story, and the same story. And I meet with 5 of them and I say, girls, what is the secret? They say, we did one special system. And I know them before and after. I say, please share me. And they say, you need to go one special seminars, do the things. And I was passed from this seminar. This period of time, I not had a good car. I was just beginning my business. I worked as crazy and did not have profit. I work. And after when I pay rent, salaries, all the things, I am zero. And I said, what the fuck? Where's the problem? And I start to use the system of money. And after 2 years, they choose me in Forbes, one of the most successful lady before 30, who is most successful in Bulgaria. And my business now is the most successful personal company about personal development in Balkanic countries, not only Bulgaria, but Macedonia, Greece, everywhere. It has 50 people who work in our company. And really the system was worked. I was so expressed because people around me said, Natalia, what suddenly happened and you become to be so rich? I say, I know some Russian oligarchs secrets because it's one oligarch's secrets which they teach me. And usually it was only on Russia and only specific people, it not was from all. It was very difficult to go to the system, to share with you. I pay a lot of money from this. But after I come back this during 1 year, and it was great. But I want to do good karma in this life, and I decide to do it from very, very small price from all people can to understand it and to use the system. I give a result and I give promises officials that if you do all homework, you will come back your money during this month. If not, I will give you money back. At the moment, pass more than 500 people from all the marathons, never we come back money back, never. We do it published because I know the system works. Only from 24 hours today, we did a discount from it's funny price, really. Girls, it's $49 at the moment if you buy now. Tomorrow we will change price again, it's $139, and after you $200. If you want to buy it now, we give a link and you can go and to buy it now. And after we will increase the price. But I promise you that your life will change with money from forever. It's system which work. And it's, I believe, during I start to do these marathons of money, many money come in my life. Many. From so many, I have many sponsors. Many people start to call me after this marathon of money and send me money. Say, Natalia, I'm so thankful to you. It's gift to you. Booms. And so a lot of money given my account. Every day I see just which money come to me. From clients who is happy, I receive a lot of money just like this. And thank you, God, from this wealth which we have in our life, because it's really, really work.
But it wasn't like that at the beginning. You had blockages like I did. I was ashamed to enter a shop because I didn't have money and I knew they would see that I'm poor. And I believe that all rich people are perverts and pedophiles. And because all the rich guys I've seen in Bulgaria, they were dating girls that was 16, 17 years old. They were making them do perverted things. And I thought rich people are horrible. Like I've seen only the worst about rich, and that's karma of Saturn. You tend to see always the worst. So if you keep in that energy, money's not going to come to you. If Saturn is affecting your second house because you see the worst, so you have to start reprogramming. That's why you work with programs. That's why you learn, you start taking classes. If you don't want to take class with you can take with someone else, but you think about those things. You give them your consciousness. Wherever Saturn is, you've never put your consciousness there consciously. You took what life gave you there. And if Saturn is connected to the third house, you have this karma of thinking, I'm dumb, I'm not clever enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I don't have the skill sets, I'm not heard. I say something, but they don't hear me. So what's the point of doing anything? Because third house is communications. Third house is having the skills. So such people feel they don't have the knowledge or the know-how or the skills. So if it's never enough, they have to take more courses, more classes. They don't have the courage to initiate. Third house is the house of courage. They have the karma of not having courage. Also, they have a debt towards a sibling when Saturn is connected to the third house. For you, Natalka, Saturn is aspecting the third house. So you have
I don't know where's my Saturn, to be honestly.
I'll tell you in a bit, but Saturn is is affecting your third house. So you have a karmic duty to a sibling, younger sibling. So indeed, that astrologer was right. So if Saturn is in your third house, you have a duty towards a sibling to help them or to accept them the way they are, not to judge them, or it might be a relative or a neighbor of some sort as well. And to start believing that you are intelligent enough, to start believing you have the knowledge, to start believing that you will be understood and to overcome fears of communication. And often they have a karma and duty to bring information to others. This is how you pay your karma. Where there is lack, sense of lack, you start doing it as a work. You give information, you share knowledge. That's the third house. And this is how you pay off your karma. And I think you've paid yours long time ago there with this third house.
I think from this, because at the moment I can live without work, but I feel it, I must to do it. I like to share. I see result of people which after has money, after has pregnancy. Yesterday I received an invitation from marriage. One lady, she come to me, she say, I never will marry. I say, geisha, you will. And now I received yesterday, she will do it in Sophie in Grand Hotel from London, one lady. She invited me from her marriage. And I feel so happy from this. It's exactly about me.
And that's why you have the duty to give your information and to share. Third house is to make courses, seminars. It's a karmic duty you have to pay again. So never stop doing it. Then if Saturn is connected to your fourth house, to the ruler of your fourth house in some way, to aspect or is in the fourth house or aspecting it, you have a karmic duty to your mom. Often you have to take care of her. And Saturn is with the moon. The moon is the mother. I know many people like that who actually their mother was awful to them. She was abusive or hurtful in some way. And at the end, when she became old, they had to take care of her. And they were so unhappy. They said, like, she never gave me anything good. She only abused me, hurt me. How can I now take care of her? And I said, do it and your good karma will come after that. So accept her. Okay, she might be pain in the ass. She might have neglected you. It's coming from a point of ignorance, of pain for this person. Accept it as they are, no matter how much they annoy you. Put a distance between you and them, but when they need help, be there for them, pay off your karmic debt. It might be a karmic debt of having to nurture and care for someone, parental karmic debt. And they might have karmic, they have to educate themselves about property. They have to educate themselves about land, about those things, get knowledge about those things as well, which are fourth house related, and emotional happiness. The fourth house is very psychological house of clearing family karma and forgiving your parents. Such people have to forgive their parents, their ancestors, 4 generations back. Often, Natalia is amazing at that. When we did geisha in Bulgaria, we were 9 women there. It's very intense. And a lot of the issues of the women would come back from 2-3 generations back. A grandmother had an abortion. A grandfather killed himself or something like that. And now you don't want to live. Now you hate life. Now you can't have children. 2-3 generations back affect you. You can carry the karma of your ancestors. And Natalia would immediately would connect that and start clearing that karma. She does it in geisha. She's doing a geisha live, and she's doing also geisha online. Geisha is clearing all the.
I would like to share this news because it's completely new from today. Okay. I am very happy from this news.
Sorry.
Then we will do the first time because many people ask me, we cannot come to geisha offline, we very want, but it's difficult. And I was very thinking to do it or no, because of course it's not the same. And of course, constellation, when you come, it's completely different. But it's a very, very working system. I do it 11 years and more than 50,000 women pass from this system. It's one really strong process. And I decided to do geisha online. It will 3 weeks work with me. When every one time per week I will do 2 hours very deep webinar, and I will give a cleaning practice from generation from yourself. And after you do short homework which you need to do during the 3 weeks, you will have group on Instagram or in Facebook or Viber, you see, and you will do it together. It's amazing. And after you do geisha 2, it's working with our shadow, how to clean our shadow, because this what you tell about Saturn, it's exactly shadow part.
Mm-hmm.
When we afraid and not allow, and many people stay in shadow, and you attract only shadow partners. And many times when we clean shadow, people say, first time in my life, I feel like my life start. It's also with 3 weeks, and welcome, because really it's the best transformation system in the world. I've been in America, in England, in France. I know a lot of systems which exist. For me, geisha is the best. I collect from many things because I'm therapist, I'm clinical therapist, medical therapist. And what I'm doing, it's very fast transformation. I'm very happy that you've been on here, and really it's deep process.
I was crying like a donkey. I don't know. On the live geisha, my constellation was 1 hour. I cried. I cried and I cried. I've never cried so much. And I realized some things, and I started ever since releasing them and talking to my ancestor that I know is the reason of my problems. And I never was aware why I have this issue until basically it's amazing how a good therapist can see it immediately. And it's a bit like a psychic process, like a psychic telling you things. It was, yeah, it's very private for me. I can't share it, but it was, yeah. So anyway, if you have Saturn affecting the 4th house cusp or the moon, that's family constellations are one of the most important things to do, to release, to forgive your family, to work on turning the karma of ignorance and pain of your family around. Then Saturn with the 5th house, or with the sun, or with the ruler of the 5th house, you can have karma of delayed children. You might not want children, or you might find having children quite a hard task, quite difficult. I have that. So I find it very difficult. I often complain. I'm like dissatisfied, and I remind myself, no, you have to accept that it is like Natalia has like the easiest time parenting. She doesn't have that. She loves it. She says, oh, it's so much fun. It's so easy. My child is so easy. My children are not easy. My children are pain. And I'm constantly moaning about it. And I have to stop and say, no, you have karma. You have karma towards your child. You have to pay it off. You have to accept them the way they are. You have to stop being negative about it and to reprogram yourself. So I constantly start, making myself positive affirmations that about my children, that I love parenthood, that I love raising children. So you start shifting and you start seeing the changes. Also, you might have love karma. Here you can meet a lot of, with Saturn, the 5th house, you can be hurt in before marriage, in relation, maybe usually before you get married, you have a lot more painful relationships, like dating. And it keeps just giving you pain, and it's dry, or it's not affirmative of your ego, or it's not supportive of you somehow. The love karma is quite heavy with Saturn affecting the 5th house. So you have to pay off a karma to a child or to a lover. You have to accept them as they are, stop judging them. It doesn't mean with the lover stay in that unhappy love relationship, but accept it as something. And usually, if the 7th house is not affected, your marriage can be much happier than your romantic life initially. But you have to learn there with the fifth house about give and receive love, about not being critical to your loved ones, about honoring yourself and loving yourself, because the fifth house is the house of love. There is some ignorance or some trespassing of the laws of love that happened in the past lifetime. So you have to teach yourself to love yourself and to give without expect, to give in love, to give without judgment. Then when it's the sixth house, when Saturn is in the sixth house or aspects it, Natalia has that. One of the things that they have is they have a duty to work. They have a karma to work. And the thing is, even if they can't work, sixth house is work and duty and service of those that are in some problem in life. Sixth house is people in lack or balance of some sort. The sick, the poor, the unhappy, the heartbroken, the mentally unhappy, those that are unhappy, anyone that is in balance in their life, that there is some situation they feel victimized in or that they're very stuck in. So when you have Saturn, then you have the duty to help such people. And instead of judging them and being upset, so Natalka, even if you can stop working, you shouldn't. You have to keep paying your duty and do this just to help others in such situation of problem. Often such people can be doctors, healers, can be psychologists, because they're working with a lot of people that are constantly telling them about their problems. The sixth house is the house of problems. They have a duty to help people solve their problems. Another thing is they might have, if they're not doing any of those, they might have like a health karma, where they need to learn and to educate themselves about nutrition, about taking care of their body. Sixth house is connected to this, about healthy eating and such things. And they might have duty to teach others about such things and to help others with that. This is how you pay your karma. When you have a problem somewhere, you help others with even bigger problem than that. Then Saturn connected to the seventh house, ruler or in the seventh house or aspecting it from the first or the 10th. You have karma to your partner. You might attract partners that are difficult, that you marriage partners or committed relationships, and you have to find tolerance towards that partner. And you have to, and often you get locked in relationships that last very long until you learn the lesson to forgive them, not to judge them. It's the hardest not to judge a partner when you have Saturn in the seventh house. And it's not only marriage partner, it can be business partners. You can be afraid of business partners. You can resent people to collaborate with, but they have the duty to learn about relationships, to clear off relationship karma, to help others with relationship problems as well. So that's, that's another, and to become accepting towards such difficulties and such difficult business partner, or anyone that relates to them on an equal basis. And that happens naturally with age and naturally by educating yourself, by learning more about it, by reprogramming your mind, as I said earlier, by working on with psychology or working with courses and seminars to, to overcome that blockage when it comes to relationships. Then if you have Saturn in the eighth house, you might have a karmic duty to pay for your partner, or if Saturn is aspecting the ruler of the eighth house in some way. Maybe partners you attract, you always have more money than them, or they always create some financial problem on you that can be very infuriating, but and you have to learn to accept it, not judge it. And you might have to pay first a karmic duty to someone, and that by helping a partner, business or personal person financially, by taking care of them. My mom has Saturn in the eighth house, and my dad could not work for 10 years. And she was so bitter and resentful first, because she was the woman having to work for that. And towards the seventh or eighth year, she finally accepted it, stopped judging my dad. And then suddenly he came into a big pension a year later. But you first have to resolve those negative feelings you have towards that inside of you. And you have to learn together with your partner budgeting, financing. Finances, you have to learn about money. Eighth house is the financial house. You have to learn about abundance, because often such people, they don't receive from others. They don't know how to receive. They're blocked. They can make their own money usually, but they feel so negative because every time they ask for help from someone, or they were in a relationship, or they were always refused. They were not given money. They were not helped with the resources of others. So that's a huge blockage towards abundance, because you are afraid, and not afraid, that there is like blockage in your subconscious that is programmed that the universe does not give you. You can't receive from others. Only you have to work hard for everything. You cannot receive it. So that's again, the marathon for money can help with such a blockage for receiving. Uh,
Mhm.
and that's something that you have to really learn about, to study about investment and resources and finances. Then Saturn connected, and they have also big fear of, you can have like a karmic debt when with Saturn in the eighth house, big fear of death and transformation. They're the ones that need most psychological help, because they find it the hardest to create a big change in their life with Saturn in the eighth house. They're the most stubborn. They hold on to the old shapes and patterns in their lives, because the eighth house is transformation, deep psychological transformation. With Saturn there, they're so afraid of that. They think they'll die if they change themselves on a deep level. So they need a lot of, that's kind of family constellation, deep psychological releasing. They find it very hard releasing. But once they do that, they can become masters of transformation later in life, usually. Once they learn and study about that and do it repeatedly, they can help others go through big shifts in their life and transformations, deaths, divorces. They can become really good psychologists, especially for people who are having financial problems, or people who are going through big crisis in their life. But first, they're really lame in that. First of all, they themselves, they can't, they really have to learn hard to overcome that. Then Saturn connected with the ninth house, you can have a karmic duty to your dad. It's dad figures, for example. Oh, you can have a karmic blockage that in past lifetimes you did not speak the truth, or you hid the truth in some way. The ninth house is truth, or you twisted the truth in some way. And in this lifetime, you'll be given opportunity to teach others, so you can learn to say the truth, so you can learn to teach them. Ninth house is the teacher, so you can have like a karmic duty to teach others in some way. You can have a karmic duty to inform others about the universe, the principles, the laws in some way. This is how you pay your karmic duty, also by accepting your dad um, and your teachers in some way. But it can have they can be very negative. Saturn in the ninth house, they can have, because ninth house is positivity, embracing life, believing in fate, believing that the universe has your back. And Saturn there is like, I'm all alone. The universe only wants to punish me. They kind of have like often in past lifetimes, they were in religions that are doom and gloom. You'll burn in hell. If you just whistle at someone, God, your penis will dry out and things like that. You know, I have Saturn in the ninth house. So my grandmother raised me like that. You wink at a guy and the devil is inside you. Very severe religious beliefs, very punishing. The God is punishing. The universe is just waiting for you to make a mistake. It's gonna smack you, and it's kind of you kind of a more pessimistic, negative. So you really have to work on positive affirmations. You have to work on believing that there is meaning in life, and studying philosophy, studying things that make you start believe that there is consciousness, that you can, that there is hope in the universe, that the universe has your back. Maybe that's why I'm working this, that's why I'm doing this, so I can believe it myself and pay off my karma there. Then Saturn with the 10th house. 10th house is also father. They can be authority figures and bosses. You can always have the most painful bosses or father figures in life when Saturn is in the 10th house. Like, they are critical, they never approve of you, you're never good enough, and it's you have to accept them. It doesn't mean be around them all the time. You're paying off some karmic duty. Maybe you were in a past lifetime doing the same to someone else or whatever. Accept it, that they're like that, they're teaching you some lesson, and usually it pushes you to become your own authority, so you don't allow any more such people, and to learn about leadership and ruling your own life and taking responsibility for your own life. That's why you usually have such hard taskmaster teachers and father figures and bosses, because the ultimate goal is to have responsible actions with this, and to teach others how to lead their life and your how to, especially career, you have a career duty and responsibility there to serve the world, to serve the public, some leadership duties and responsibilities. And often you might be doing them unwillingly. It can feel like a lot of burden, but and often such people achieve high positions because they have a karmic duty to lead, to structure, to manage, to organize, and they have to accept that. And again, they can become great managers and teachers of others eventually, of how to lead and structure and organize. This is the 10th house. And another thing is they should never judge others harshly in the public eye, because they themselves, they notice that the moment they do something wrong, one step wrong, they so quickly get judged by others. They so quickly, something in their public life, career, whatever, immediately it's all their dirty shirts are put out there for the public to see. So they're learning in this life perfection in their action, perfection in their, or perfection is impossible, but responsibility of their action, very kind of responsible attitude. And then Saturn with the 11th house, that's gains, the 11th house. You can have problem making money. The second house is once you have money to keep it, and your attitude towards money. The 11th house is gaining money. Those people always probably have to work twice as hard for the same amount of money as others. And they can have a karmic duty towards first working hard to gain financially. They have to reprogram their mind about that. They have to release those negative beliefs about that as well. I have Saturn conjunct the rule of the 11th house. So always for me, I knew I had to work very hard for gains. And usually after 35 onwards, Saturn's lessons become easier, or when you work on yourself, it can be early as well. You can release those fears gradually through psychological work, through reprogramming faster, so you can have better gains. And later on, you can become a master of teaching others your system of gains as well. And it's 11th house, you might have karmic duty to friends. They can be a lot of irritable or annoying, or friends that just want to take from you, or that don't appreciate you. And when Saturn is there, you have to accept it. They're like that. It is what it is. I'll pay off my duty, and you pay off your duty and you move forward after that. And there's no longer an issue there. And then Saturn in the 12th house, or aspecting it, or with the ruler of the 12th house, you can have a duty towards those in real need, the little children, the old people, the very kind of charitable. You have a karmic duty to those that are the most vulnerable, children, animal, older people who can't take care, prisoners, people in hospitals, very sick people. Again, that's often a position seen in doctors. They pay it off through their work. They pay off this karmic duty. Or you're just helping with charity to someone. Or if you have Saturn in the 6th house, it's aspect the 12th. You, like Natalia has, or it's Saturn is in the 12th. You have to often pay karmic duty by giving to a charity, for example. And both her and me, charity, it starts dissolving your karma as well. And another thing is Saturn in the 12th house might have spiritual duty. 12th house is spiritual, to learn about spirituality, to remove ignorance about spirituality, to do serious spiritual practices constantly. And then they resolve that karmic duty, because this is the 12th house of spiritual practices, and to remove any ignorant or fearful beliefs about spirituality or the invisible world and energies of such sort. So there we go. I passed through all the houses.
Yeah. You're very fast in this, but it's very interesting how it connects exactly with psychological, what we call shadow. It's exactly you can find in your Saturn, and to see what is the problem. And it's given me a lot of forgiveness and acceptation, because very often we judge people and say, why it's like this, why it's this, why it's this. And when you see reality, and you see the astrology, I think that people need to go with astrology map and to say, no, my Saturn here, what do you want from my life? It's not me, it's my Saturn. And then become to be very easier. I start to think I need to check my husband, where is this? It's curiosity. And this really give an explanation. And always I was asked myself, and I would like to speak about this with you. Do you believe that we can clean the karma? If we will do new actions, we can go out from these programs?
Absolutely, that's what it is. Saturn means ignorance, where we're ignorant, where we've been making the same mistake. The only way to counteract ignorance is new knowledge and new actions. To get,
Mm,
because we often refuse to do anything new as Saturn is, because there's so much pain, you just don't want to touch that area. You're like, no, 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 I hate this, I don't want to talk about it. It's the opposite. You have to go learn about it, you have to go challenge yourself with
mm,
new to try something new, to learn to understand about it as much as possible. So you'd stop judging that thing, so, or that person. Because when you put yourself in their shoes, and often Saturn is where we're most critical. If Saturn is in your um, third house, for example, you can be very critical towards your siblings. Why are they like that? So stupid. How can they do that? And it's about learn more about your sibling, understand, make a family constellation about your sibling, and understand why they're acting like that, and then you forgive them, and then this karma gets solved. That's how you do it. That's the only way. The only way to remove the shadow side, to solve the blockages of Saturn, is to work on yourself and new knowledge. And the biggest mistake you do is avoid it and not do anything about it, because we come here mostly to work on those things.
mm. It's amazing. You remember now I did one geisha, and was one lady. She was very talented in music, but she never shows this talent. And I remember that I was told to her, you need to go on the street to take, she was play violin, to go on the street and to play violin. She said, Natalia, I cannot, I feel so shy, I feel afraid. I say, you cannot go to geisha second day if you not do it. And she was very honestly did it. And after several days, she called me and say, I feel first time very brave inside me. I was so afraid. It's not something so big, maybe from somebody, but from me, I was die from this. And when she does this, she did the concert. We sent even in my Facebook her, she did her clip, and she became to be very famous and become to do this music thing. But she'll say me every time, Natalia, thank you so much. You push me, you push me. I was necessary. And
Exactly.
I see exactly when I did geisha and I check the energy, what exactly, I don't know astrology. I would like to do one goddess one day with you
To
when
combine both, yeah. To combine
you
both.
will do this carta map, and after I can do it, because now I do it from my intuition without to know exactly where is Saturn. And when people come to me, I just feel that you need to do this. I even sometimes doesn't know why people need to do this, but every time I push it exactly show that it was right. And after very often your clients tell me, Natalia, how you know my Saturn exactly there? And it's very difficult for me to do it. And when they do it, or sometimes you need to forgive your father, sometimes you need to open your sexuality. Sometimes you need to forgive your mother and accept, okay, she not was the best mother, but is it? It's your karma, and you just accept it. I was
I
very angry.
remember Saturn is in my ninth house, father, and you did most of the constellation on my father. And you said,
Mm,
why are you giving you're afraid of your dad? And you asked me to shout and say, I'm taking my power back. And then someone played my father and said, play her dad. And I realized his point of view, why he used to beat me up and why he was physically aggressive. And it was, and my tears were, and I haven't judged him since then. And I don't resent him so much anymore. It was so cleansing, even though it was not my dad telling me, it was that woman. But she kind of said exactly why, and made me see his point of view and helped me resolve the Saturn pain. So it's amazing. Astrology just tells you to diagnose. It tells you,
mm.
okay, you have kidney stone. Now what you do, those constellations, the psychology work is basically, now let's break down that kidney stone and take it out.
Yeah, I sometimes I afraid. Sometimes I see clients and I see that it's very difficult. And this moment I just stay like this. I pray God and say, God, give me power. I'm not sure, but I will do the best. And I try. I try sometimes again and again, again and again. And every time some miracle happened. I had one client, she was very difficult. Her father was beat her a lot after her husband was beat her a lot. After her son started to beat her, she was 50 something. And
Oh,
she started to me and say, I don't know, I very afraid I cannot go from this family, but they will beat me, they will kill me. but I not has power to go out from this. And we work with her because all generation in her family was like this, her grandmother, her mother. And when we clean it, I was not sure. I was very brave from her. And after 2 months, she came to me, geisha too, and she was different, like new person. I couldn't recognize her. And she said, Natalia, I divorced. I find this powerful. I divorced. I met new man. He's very good with me. The first time I understood what means good sex. My husband over raped me. With this meaning 50 something, I understand what means sex. I never have it in my life. And she was so thankful. And really, it was so beautiful process when I saw these changes, but she was very brave. She believed me, she trusted me, and I say, you need to pass. I know that's very difficult for you, but you need to protect yourself. And geisha, it's not something easier, we're sure, but it's open your energy and you clean your karma from your next life. I believe when you do geisha not from yourself, you do it from your grandchildren.
For your grandchildren. It's
we speak on Russian. If you want to have a princess daughter, you need to start from her grandmother. And I believe that happiness, you can give it from generation. If your grandmother happy, she has a happy daughter. Happy daughter will find also good man, and you have happy child. And we work from our future. I don't agree when people say, but it's my destiny. Maybe I need suffer, it's my karma. Astrology, like Lada, very amazing. Show you why you have it. But after, it's about choice. You want to say, okay, it's me and I will suffer all my life. Or I would like to change the life and I would like to do completely new things and I would like to fight for myself, to fight from my soul and to do something totally new. Geisha is from brave people. It's not for all. It's very difficult work for me. And thank you people who watch this geisha say around this. I will do it online geisha. Of course, it cannot compare with geisha when you do it. I will do geisha in Dubai, in Montreal. We will have geisha Barcelona in June. And America, I hope also we wait from visit if you come America. Athens, it's 21st, 22nd of March. It's very deep ritual works. When I work with, it's like I take only 15 people from this reason, from 3 days, because I do constellation. I need to go in exactly this place from which you start pain and I start to clean. It's geisha one, we do cleaning. Geisha two, you're not been, but you will come. Geisha two, it's about work with shadow. It's work with inner child. It's work with generation of women, very beautiful constellation. And geisha three, it's goddesses. It's we did it now on Bali. It's so nice process with your body, with sexuality. We has practice without clothes. So deep job. Was really Lada remember it.
I remember half of London saw us naked passing. the hotel windows were open and we were 20 women naked inside and touching our bodies and saying we're goddess. And a month later, I met my husband and I had the best sex because I've always had sexual issues before that. So
yeah, exactly. It was very funny. We've been now in Bali. If somebody has from Bali here, you can give feedback. We has very nice feedback. It's beautiful. It's a system.
Did you go naked on the beach? Did you go naked on the beach in Bali?
We tried. Well, it was so funny because manager of the hotel come to us. It was very expensive, good hotel. He said, "Please, not go naked outside, please." And you know, Bali, it's like this. Namaste, please stay in the room. And they take us bodyguards. Nobody not go out from the room naked. They close all what they can close. They take one specially TAPS private event. They take some boundaries to close our room. It was so funny. And all time he comes through our conference. Are you start already? Are you start? And he was very worried that somebody will go naked. They're not allowed it on Bali. It was big. We were laughing a lot. It was nice.
In Dubai, for sure, you can't do it. but
in Dubai, no, we will go to Kansas.
But on Geisha one, you don't do that. On Geisha one is the deep work with family constellations and seeing where the issue comes from. That's amazing. And how is that going to be online though? When you're doing for much, it's much cheaper. You're doing it for $150 Otherwise,
Yes, we did now very big discount because it's more people on site. When it's more people, we can do less price, and I'm very happy for this. When I do individual, then less groups and more expensive is it. Because it's individual job. Geisha online we will do now. You need to use pillow and we will do constellation personal in home. Some people told me that sometimes it's more easier to do it when you are yourself and not other people observe you. And I will speak especially magical rituals, what you need to say, to explain. I will send you now, yes, to link. And you will connect with your energy, where I will give very deep, strong meditation to clean the things. I will do constellation online, and you will see how different you will feel after this. The most big target on Geisha is to be number one. To be number one and to see who you are, why you are here, what is your mission, and what you would like to have in your life. Now it's from 1,500. It's only if you take both Geisha 1, Geisha 2, 150. 150. It's
then this is 50 for the both online Geisha 1 and 2.
Yes, it's 3 week system. So when we work, because I take a little bit time, because I saw that when we do Geisha, after the people say we need to continue, somebody to keep us. And people who already passed Geisha, it's a really great system to continue to be very stability in your changes. Because our new brain and reprogramming, it's happened from 21 days. And from this, we do 21-day Geisha 1 cleaning. And after 21-day Geisha 2, when we do new boundaries, when you do new system, which took inside. First we clean, after we put new system inside. And it's you need to be ready, it's so difficult. It's 1.5 months. When you work with me, all will change in your life. You'll change your relationship, you'll change your body. I have ladies who has myomas and problems in body. It's clean from this. You will see very big difference how you feel yourself. A lot of you say, first time I understand what I want in my life. You will take a lot of angry outside of your body, and you will have some of you lost kilograms. It's interesting. It's so transformation process. I'm very excited because the first time we do it online in this format, but I know that it's one of the most beautiful months and half in your life is me with the system, with thank you Lada from this opportunity to share it, and you will clean a lot of things. Of course, who wants to work personality with me, because it's really deep.
Yes, those are the best one on like the ones.
No, every time it's very strange. Every time after Geisha I have white hair, every time. And after Geisha I lay down and I cannot move several days. I feel so exhausted, and I need after 1 week to come back my energy, because all your healing process, all your health, all your problems, all your pains from my body, through my energy, and I clean it. And people after say, oh, after Geisha I can, it's past time, it's 21 days after Geisha, it's continuous cleaning process, depends how much you have, but after you say, I feel like personally new. But it's not easier process also for me. It's a lot of knowledge, it's too high education, a lot of seminars. It's my system of constellation. It's very different from classical constellation, but I know this work. Many celebrities now come to me. 50,000 ladies, it's really big, has many articles, many journalists go to my seminar and after do articles and say it's really work.
No, that's your power. I mean, you were a force of nature. I just remember when we were doing it live, and I was having problem expressing anger to my dad. And I'm like, I could never say that. And you just came, put your hand on me and said, shout. And I was like, this wave, like it hit me from back. And I started, wow. And it's your energy, how you direct it, how you push people. It's a gift. It's a gift. And that's when I really saw your strength and power. And it was like, wow.
Yeah, it's when I do Geisha, it's not me. I am like a transformer. Something passed through me, some amazing energy like Mother Earth goes through me, and it's after I say I lay down, I cannot move, like hurricane. Even I don't know why I tell this. After I don't remember very often what exactly I was telling to person. I just know it's past and it's need to pass, and I share what I need to share. It's painful because we go in pain, but in pain, you clean karma. You cannot just say, oh, okay. No, it's not okay. You need to go to pain. You need to work with this. You need to cry. But it's a way to clean. Otherwise, you suffer all your life and you stay in your hell all your life. It's not deserved. From me, when you have this gift, me, and which do geisha, not to use it because I was dreamed to, until today, I has many therapists around me, but nobody like me. I so dream to do geisha, somebody from myself, but unfortunately I cannot. It's like you can be very good operation and operate other people, but you cannot operate yourself.
Yeah.
To operate myself, I jealous people who can be my clients. Also, I do individual session. We did today, one of girl, maybe she's here. She said, Natalia, finally, it's so helped me. Wow. I'm very good in constellation in individual. I can connect with the soul of your partners to say what happened inside, why it's work or doesn't work. Who would like to go with me? We have promotion today from 500, 400. Welcome. I take only 2-3 clients per day because I cannot more. And we do it very beautiful work. You can also, if you know your Saturn, where is it, to tell me, and we will work with this. You can do first with Astrology of Lada's map, and after we can come to me and explain where is your planets, and we can work with this. Individual, if you want, you can go to session at natalia.bg.
I'll put the link below for people as well in the description. Thank you so much, Natalia.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. Tomorrow we will continue with free webinars. Free webinars will tomorrow in 7. I will speak exactly about woman energy, what means woman energy. And also my husband, together with him, will do free webinar for you about conflicts in relation. I have my marriage. I cannot say that it's easier. We both very strong personality and very often we fight. And we will do topic about conflicts. And it's our personality topic because we did it a lot. And I love my husband, and I love from first eye when I saw him, he me too. Very often it's very difficult for us to be together. But from other side, when we separated even a little time, he called me, baby, I miss you. And I'm the same. And I would like to be with you in this process. We will do together with him webinar. Also, if you need man opinion, he starts on the Lada website. You can find his contacts. He also do personal coaching from women who would like to understand better men. He's amazing, crazy intuition. All my friends come to him now and say, explain me why it's this guy like this. And he give very good man position. From many women, it's very important position from men. On Lada website, you can find information. It's will now from $200, $100 from next 3 days. We will put information about this, and Lada website, you can find it the next days. And the link from Geisha, I will send you now. Marathons of money, $49 only now from 42 hours if you want to have a money. Thank you, Lada. If you want to share something else.
Thank you, Natalia. Wonderful. I'm excited. We should do this more often because these mix so well together, astrology and psychology. And you give the healing, I give the theory. So.
I would like if people have some specific topics which they very like to happen with them, welcome. We will prepare with Lada from you free webinars. I'm always very happy to do free webinars. Lada also, we like to give our knowledge. And many people say that even after free webinars, how much you change your life. For me, it's a big gift. Or other, it's good karma God give us from many ways. And I would like to share. Lada was amazing about Saturn things. I didn't know this, and it's really so. You're the best astrologer in the world.
Oh,
I am so proud to work together, to be friends, to be colleagues. You are really great.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we'll see you soon again. Bye.
Tomorrow, 7 in YouTube, I wait you. And Saturday on the website, you have information what time. Also, with Takis, we will see you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.